Okay, so let's talk about Alberta separation. Now, I'm going to repurpose my favorite quote from my favorite Prime Minister of Canadian history. And if you know who that Prime Minister is and you know the original quote, drop it in the comments. But here it is. Here's how I feel about Alberta separation is separation if necessary, but not necessarily separation. So the West has been getting a raw deal from the East for so long that the tensions in Alberta and in other places all come down to Ottawa. It comes down to the blocking of growth, economy growth, job growth, blocking of these projects. And it comes from frustration that by time our ballot boxes close, they've already announced the winner of the election. So it's like, what's the point of us voting? We might as well just say, hey, Ontario, why don't you tell us who our new dictator is? Okay, now I have chosen to stay silent on this topic for one reason, and that was because I didn't want to divide the movement. I am all for Alberta separating, but I'm also all for Alberta staying in Canada if Ottawa would stop extorting economy growing projects to make Brookfield rich with their MOU. Well, the whole country could benefit from the economic profits from another pipeline and oil and gas and exports to the global market. But, I'm going to use this to profit. I'm going to make sure Brookfield profits and my shares profit. And I will only give you a pipeline if you do this, and this first. And when I profit, then maybe I'll give a shit about this country, right? This is the problem, right? And another reason I've stayed silent is a lot of people may not like this opinion, but I can't stand Jeffrey Rath. I have never liked him from the very beginning. And one of the reasons I stayed silent is because I couldn't promote that man. From somebody who's constantly called mega, the man reminds me of Trump. And I'm not saying I don't like Trump, but I'm not saying I do either. And Jeffrey Rath, although he has quite a bit of intelligence, the guy says some stupid stuff, like just plain out moronic shit, right? And some of the things that he says about, if we become independent and BC won't give us our pipeline, then we're just going to stop every truck from coming through. Well, excuse me, you do know that if you're in the trucking industry, it's actually shorter to go through the States from Vancouver to the East. That man is truly moronic. The dumbest, most insanely idiotic misinformation comes out of his mouth, and he is starting to use fear tactics. He's starting to fearmonger. He has gone off the deep end, and I couldn't stand him before, and now I really can't stand that man. But the one reason why I can still proudly say I stand behind the Alberta independence movement is because I know that if and when a vote goes through, if the vote comes back, yes, Alberta would like to proceed to the next step of withdrawing from Confederation, then I know that Jeffrey Rath doesn't have a seat at the table. And I'm so glad that he doesn't have a seat. His role was literally legality, promotion, and pushing the petition through. He will not have a seat at the table if a clear yes vote comes through and the process proceeds, which, by the way, could take years, right? And that man is one of those 51st staters, okay? Now, yeah, I love my country, okay? This is why I say separation if necessary, but not necessarily separation, is because I love this country, but this country has gone to absolute shit. Right? This liberal government has destroyed this country. This country is broken. It's broken. I mean, I ordered basically enough food to feed my children and for school lunches for 2 weeks for 2 out of 4 children, for school-age children. My grocery bill was $500. Like, if that's not broken, I don't know what is. That should have cost like $150. Like, some snacks and bread and, you know, like peanut butter and like $500 for squeezies and yogurt, like for school lunches and for organic baby cookies. Like, literally, I didn't get any meat. I didn't even get anything to make meals. Like, no spaghettis, just to feed my children, and the bill was $500. My family of 6 spends currently about like $1,400 to $1,800 a month on groceries. And you're saying that this country isn't broken, and that's why I support Alberta independence, because enough is enough, you know. And if the left keep voting in this ridiculousness, this country is broken, and I don't want to be part of it anymore. Either we bring it back to the good old days under Stephen Harper, when the middle class was the richest in the world, or we take our wealth and we tell Ottawa to fuck off.